Hey, Bama fans. Ty Simpson's brother reacts to Alabama's quarterback offer. Is Bama looking for supremacy with the Simpson family? Could Ty's brother be as surprising as he was? Let's see what's new. But first, become a member of the channel and get access to exclusive videos. There's a sense of pride and anticipation in Tuscaloosa, where the Simpson legacy is beginning to take on even more impressive forms. If Ty Simpson has already emerged as one of the greats of Alabama's offense in recent times, could his younger brother, Graham Simpson, land at Bama? The news that the Crimson Tide has offered a starting spot to the 14-year-old quarterback, still at the beginning of his high school career, is one of those moments that makes any Bama fan dream big. Graham, who currently plays for Westview High School in Tennessee, isn't just another name on the long list of prospects Alabama is monitoring. He's a phenomenon in the making, someone who already put up incredible numbers even in his freshman season. Just imagine, 4,400 yards thrown, 57 touchdowns, and just one interception. A single interception. That's not luck, it's pure talent, discipline, and probably some shared DNA with Ty. When you combine that with Alabama's offer, it's impossible not to see something special happening here. The story behind this offer is also moving. Graham revealed in an interview with Touchdown Alabama that he experienced one of the most memorable moments of his life alongside his older brother Ty. He was training in Tuscaloosa, showcasing his potential to the coaches, and immediately caught the attention. A few days later, he received a call from Nick Sheridan, the team's offensive coordinator, with the official offer. And who was there to celebrate? Ty. This moment between the two brothers is something that goes beyond football. It's about family, mutual support, and dreams built together. For Alabama fans, this family connection further reinforces the idea that the program is invested in something bigger than simply winning on the field. But let's talk about what really matters, what Graham can bring to the Crimson Tide. The kid has everything it takes to be a difference maker. With a strong arm, clinical precision, and an incredible ability to read defenses even at such a young age, he seems to be exactly the kind of player Kalen DeBoer loves to mold. DeBoer, who has already proven his ability to maximize quarterbacks' potential, will have a rare gem on his hands. Furthermore, Ty's presence in the locker room could be a decisive factor in Graham's adaptation to the program. After all, who better than his own brother to help him understand the nuances of this level of competition? And of course, there's another fascinating element to this story: the possibility of seeing two brothers lead Alabama's offense in consecutive seasons. Imagine the impact that would have not only on the field but also off it. The Simpson dynasty could become part of the Crimson Tide's mythology, a chapter remembered for decades. It's no exaggeration to say that Graham's arrival at Alabama could cement the family as one of the most iconic in the program's recent history. It's also worth noting that Graham isn't just receiving attention from Alabama. Other college football giants, such as Auburn, Oklahoma, and Ole Miss, are keeping an eye on him. But there's something symbolic about the Crimson Tide being the first to extend an offer. This reflects the program's commitment to identifying talent early and creating lasting bonds with players who can make a difference. And let's face it, if Graham chooses to follow in his brother's footsteps and don an Alabama uniform, it will be further proof that the program not only attracts the best, but also knows how to maintain a strong foundation. For now, we're still talking about a young man who has a lot to learn and grow before reaching college football. But what we've seen so far is enough to generate genuine excitement. Graham Simpson isn't just another prospect. He's the embodiment of a promising future, a player who carries with him the weight of great expectations and responsibility. If Graham does indeed decide to join the Crimson Tide, we could be witnessing the beginning of something truly special. And honestly, who would bet against it? In recent months, something has changed in Tuscaloosa. Every Saturday, when the Crimson Tide takes the field, the feeling is that Alabama has become Alabama again. That relentless force that, for nearly 2 decades, turned victories into routine and defeats into events worthy of a sports autopsy. The Kalen DeBoer era, still young, is beginning to take on familiar contours for those who lived through Nick Saban's time. Organization, confidence, and, above all, inevitability. The victory over Tennessee was more than just a triumph over a rival. It was a statement that the Tide is not only surviving the transition, but learning to dominate under new leadership. DeBoer, with his calm and strategic style, has imprinted his own DNA on the program. There are no fiery speeches or theatrical gestures. There is work, adaptation, and results. 6 straight wins, 4 of them against ranked teams, and an offense that's starting to work with the precision of a Swiss watch, led by a quarterback who's improving game after game. Ty Simpson, now a leading figure in the Heisman race, embodies the spirit of this quiet rebuild. He doesn't have the explosive talent of a Bryce Young, nor the physical imposingness of a Tua Tagovailoa, but he has the coolness and game reading that keep DeBoer's offensive gears turning. And when he finds Ryan Williams, the 18-year-old prodigy, the stands at Bryant-Denny Stadium once again vibrate with the kind of confidence only Alabama can generate. The certainty that the next pass will find its mark, that the next play will work, that victory is only a matter of time. There's something symbolic about the return of that healthy arrogance that permeates the Tide fan base. The Truth Hurts T-shirts sold in Leeds encapsulate the spirit of a base that never settles for less. After a shaky start against Florida State, DeBoer's team has found its feet and is demonstrating the same hunger that defined Saban's dynasty. Week after week, the coach reinforces what seems to be his philosophy: preparation and confidence. When you're confident, you have a little more energy, he said after the victory over Tennessee. It's a simple phrase, but it sums up Alabama's rebirth, a team that has started believing in itself again. The numbers help explain the optimism, but it's the attitude that confirms the transformation. Caden Proctor, once seen only as a promising offensive lineman, has become a vital part of the offensive schemes, and the defense, despite its flaws against the ground game, is once again aggressive and opportunistic. There are, of course, weaknesses. The average of 125 rushing yards per game is modest by program standards, and the 13th ranked rushing position in the SEC is concerning. But anyone who follows college football knows Alabama is different when it smells a title. The path to the playoffs is clear, and the team has already re-entered the top 4 in the country. Georgia, LSU, Oklahoma, all dangerous opponents, but none insurmountable. The Tide's biggest enemy right now is itself. If discipline and focus remain, the January scenario could very well include Alabama's return to the stage its fans consider rightfully theirs. Kalen DeBoer is no Saban, and he doesn't try to be. He doesn't need to be. What he's building in Tuscaloosa is a new identity, one that respects the past but relies on the present. The feeling watching this Alabama team play is that the transition is over. The fear of a permanent decline has given way to the conviction that the program has rediscovered its natural rhythm: winning, convincing, and disturbing. In Tuscaloosa, there's a quiet satisfaction in the air, and, curiously, it's coming from Auburn. The latest rumors from the eastern part of the state suggest that their historic rival, the Tigers, may be inclined to keep Hugh Freeze as coach, and that's almost music to the ears of Alabama fans. On the Crimson Tide forums, where emotions range from enthusiasm to refined sarcasm, many fans have expressed the same wish: for Auburn to remain exactly where it is: stagnant, confused, and, above all, predictable. The idea of Freeze remaining at the helm is seen almost as an early Christmas present for those who wear the red and white. The logic behind Freeze's permanence, according to the rumors, is almost poetic, at least for Alabama fans. Some of Auburn's management, and even athletic director John Cohen, believe the team's current 3-4 record could easily have become 5-2 if it weren't for incompetent officiating. It's a convenient explanation, typical of a program that has been looking for excuses for years while its rival continues to collect trophies. The other, slightly more pragmatic, justification is that Freeze needs time to solidify the roster and not jeopardize the investment made through NIL, which has placed Auburn among the highest spenders on roster overhauls. But from the other side of the state, this all sounds like a rehash of an old movie. Alabama fans have seen this scenario before. Auburn stuck on rebuilding promises, hoping that next season will finally bring the leap in quality that never comes. Meanwhile, in Tuscaloosa, the focus is on titles, not officiating theories or public calls for a vote of confidence in the athletic director. Hugh Freeze, who arrived with the promise of being the right man to change the Tigers' fortunes, now seems on the verge of an ultimatum. If he fails to reach 7 wins, he could very well be fired. And the fact that this cutoff point is considered a challenge speaks volumes about the program's current state. Even a win over Kentucky or Mercer, as some rumors project, wouldn't solve the problem. Auburn would need to beat Arkansas, Vanderbilt, and, in the most unlikely scenario, Alabama in the Iron Bowl at Jordan-Hare. And that's where the Tide fans smile. Nothing pleases an Alabama fan more than seeing their rival arrive at the Iron Bowl desperate, trying to save their coach's job. While Kalen DeBoer quietly builds a new empire in Tuscaloosa, reviving the discipline and brilliance that made Alabama a national powerhouse, Auburn continues to debate whether or not to keep a coach who publicly begs for trust. It's the difference between stability and desperation, between a program that dictates the pace of college football and one still figuring out how to compete. Because while rivals fight for scraps of relevance, the Tide continues its path with the same focus as always, dominating Saturday and turning each season into another chance to make history. If Freeze stays at Auburn, no one in Tuscaloosa will complain. Share your thoughts.